Hello everybody, Ninjas here and welcome back to Arifureta Season 3 Episode 6. And I could have sworn that I'm up to date with Arifureta, that I have not missed a single episode. But it turns out I did. That episode 6 aired like last week and episode 7 aired like yesterday or something. So go me, I guess. I guess I'm just gonna release episode 7 either later today or tomorrow. We'll see about that. But yeah, I could have sworn that I did not miss any. Happens, I guess. Especially recently and especially to me, right? Regardless, a bit of housekeeping first. I got some new glasses, so the reflections might be a little bit better. I tried to get them with like anti-reflective coating and blue light filter and stuff like that. So hopefully they're not gonna be reflecting the light here I have quite as much as the previous ones. But we'll see about that, of course. And yeah, regardless of that, what happened in the previous episode of Arifureta? Well, in the previous episode, all of the all of the beastmen were saved, packed onto Hajime's airship, and then carted off to the forest to bring them back to their homes, back to their families, and to kind of fulfill maybe not a promise. I don't know what it was exactly, but the elf guy who's like the de facto leader of the forest tribes. I believe he appeared before, probably in season 1 or thereabouts, and the whole thing with saving the beast folk probably started already then. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since season 1, and I constantly think that it's some dirt on my shirt, but it's okay, it is dirt on my shirt. Whatever. Yeah, Hajime brought back the Beast Folk, apparently closing some sort of a storyline from season 1. I'm gonna move my water because my cat needs more space. And you can see her in the reflection here, even. Yeah, and we also learned that the Haulia has been exiled from those forest tribes, but now maybe because they brought all those kidnapped people, then maybe they're gonna join back, right? We discussed it in our group of elders, and we would be willing to allow you to join back, but no. Shia's father only gave a speech about how any rabbit folk who is there always has a place at Haulia if they are also willing to become warriors like them and protect their own interests, and then denied joining the Council of Elders, denied joining the forest tribes back, because he says that he also cares about his and his own, him and his, not his and his own, because those are like two of the same thing. Yeah, he only cares about his tribe, essentially, and the Haulia have learned to only care about themselves, and they have learned that they are pretty damn good at it. So they don't really need the help of the other forest tribes who are weak. Compared to Haulia, they are weak. They would be a burden on the Haulia, not any sort of a useful ally, which makes sense from like a purely pragmatic standpoint. Hajime sent the king of the empire of whatever back because he was being very childish and obstinate. And then there was a bit of a nice, heartfelt moment between Hajime and Shia, which is very, very welcome because it establishes Shia as an actual good and proper character instead of just being a comic relief and a butt of every joke, which is very good. And Hajime treated that whole situation seriously, and Shia treated it all seriously, and the show treated it seriously. So that was a very nice and very welcome change of pace from how Shia usually is portrayed and treated. And that's where the episode ended, except we also got an after credits scene where, oh, well, no, it ended with everybody entering the next labyrinth. That's how it ended. And the after credits scene was, we don't know, or we are supposed to not know, rather, but it was Hajime waking up in his own bed with his own arm and his own eye, being welcomed by Yue, his childhood friend and neighbor, or maybe little sister, or something like that, because they're gonna be late to school. Something's not right there, right? And it's safe to assume that it's probably not them being transported back to Earth. It's a little too early for that, and it would be way too abrupt. Safe to assume that it's probably the doing of the labyrinth, that the labyrinth maybe gives everybody the illusion of whatever they desire the most, and they have to find the like inner strength to break through that illusion into the harsh truth of the world, or whatever kind of idea like that, right? Every single labyrinth is a trial of some sort, right? Where whoever completes the trial must prove that they possess a certain quality that's gonna be necessary in standing up to God, fighting God, and winning and bringing the world to like proper tracks, right? That's the general idea of the labyrinth, if I'm not mistaken. The like the ability to take the truth for what it is instead of escaping into falsehoods, that would be a great quality to have. Maybe something like that. That's only my suspicion, though. We don't know for sure, but no doubt we are gonna learn in this episode, right? So, shall we watch it? Yes, we shall. That's always the answer. And to do that, you're gonna need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you for support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And with that out of the way, we can start watching Arifureta season 3 episode 6 in 3 2 1 go. Okay, it's playing. No, we're back to the classmates. And ceremoniously sent here by Hajime, I presume. That you have. So are we getting like a split kind of episode? Half of it being here and half of it being in the labyrinth? Or are we just gonna be following Liliana for this episode? Not really, no. uh, I mean, yeah, she is speaking the truth. True. Just spilling everything. No thoughts. Just talking. Yeah, she's in her own world. uh okay, opening. So maybe we're not gonna be following Lily. Although we probably should follow her for at least a little bit, shouldn't we? Right? There's the whole matter of the kingdom being in peril, and their only possible ally being having their like leaders decimated and their credibility destroyed, and their economy that is after all based on slave labor also destroyed. Does she have a plan B, or is she gonna try to marry into another neighboring nation's royal family, or what's she planning to do? I wonder how much influence her kingdom would have through the sheer virtue of being the country that houses the heroes, right? That's gotta have some pull at least. Unless other countries can also summon heroes at any given moment, or perhaps even have heroes of their own. We haven't heard anything of that though, so probably not. Okay, so I'm assuming the after credit scene of the previous episode was like fast forward, and now we're back to how it all started. Right, that's like the final labyrinth, right? Or at least the one that requires all of those other like sigil things to unlock. And entrance. Or are they just gonna get teleported? Yeah, seems to have worked. Hmm. Okay, so if nothing else, then at least the tree has been brought back to life. Okay, just a regular entrance. I thought that maybe only some of them will be like yoinked with a teleport inside, or maybe just Hajime or something like that. And that's gonna be another issue. But no, all of them went in. Separated? Separated. No, not separated. Although I don't see Xia or Yue. Okay, everybody's here? I don't see Yue. Oh, there she is. Was. Oh, doppelganger? Hmm. How'd you figure it out? With your special eye? Or. Well, that was easy. Is it regenerating or no? They're just turning into globs. Mm-hmm. And they're probably facing doppelgangers of the rest of the team. Sure. Okay. The the bond of the heart, the unexplainable bond of love. Yeah, probably uh, him helping them is not necessary. Hopefully. A bunch of bees, wasps, tentacle wasps, and everybody here is a single target DPS. So, probably like the worst kind of build to face a swarm of flying enemies. uh, mm-hmm. Feathers. Oh, right. I was wondering who has feathers there, and first thing that came to mind was Philo, but it's the different edgy show. You should really get some AoE skills. Goblins? That's a weird looking caveman goblin thing. Is it friendly? Huh? You? But, okay. So, some sort of illusion magic or transformation. Okay, transformation. They understand each other without words. Hmm. Could maybe Kaori dispel it? Like, I know that Yue is the best magic caster among them, but Kaori does have her own, like, new goddess powers or whatever. Yeah, exactly. The power of the heart. It's the power of love. Doesn't work? Hmm. Translator? Oh, translator, yeah. No kiss. I'm assuming that's gonna be another one of their. Yeah, yeah, that's very easy to tell. uh, and that would probably be Shizuku. Yeah, safe assumption. Every labyrinth is testing something after all. Yeah? And the whole a rocket launcher, of course. And the whole thing with him being at home is probably another test of, do you stay with in the perfect world with the perfect fakes, or do you go back to meet with the real ones in the imperfect world? Of course. Oh, the red one was not Shizuku because she's already with him. It was Ryutaro. Yeah, Ryutaro also went missing. Right? Right. Yeah, and we're back to the after credits. Yeah, childhood friend next door. Damn, you're a bold one, aren't you? I wouldn't wake up. uh, okay, she behaves like her usual self. I wonder if everybody is here but brainwashed into believing that this is the ideal world, or does everybody get their own illusion? Hajime looks so normal. We rom-com now. Oh, that's a good start. Already asking questions. Yeah, already asking questions from the get-go. Uh, Let me guess. Tio is the teacher. Or Shizuku. Shizuku would be one to scold them. But Tio is of the appropriate age, so. Hmm. He's coming to all those realizations way faster than I expected. Class press, probably. She's not usually quite this pathetic. Hmm. I wonder, are they like Hajime's imagination of how they are? Or are they like themselves also pulled into this dream world? Tio, of course. uh, uh, Remia? Okay, so even Mew is here, but she wasn't in the party. So either some of them were pulled into this imagination, into this like imaginary world, or everybody has been recreated from Hajime's mind. Mm, not anybody we know, I don't think. Uh, it's not America. You don't have a gun. Yeah, I mean, it's only logical, isn't it? Didn't you have an instinct to reach for a hammer, perchance? Oh, uh, is that Koki's voice? Or is it the voice of the, like, first progenitor or whatever he was called, like the one that spoke to Hajime in the first dungeon? Well, that's not something that a childhood friend would do. Uh, okay, so a good and proper girlfriend, but still, like Hajime still lives with his mother, so it's a weird situation. Hmm. Yeah, the perfect world. Too perfect. Yeah, too ideal. Oh, music's kicking in. Yeah. Ooh, the guitar. How much of this world is fake? You're a fake and a fraud. That's not Yue. Yue has a strong personality of herself. Exactly. Well, you just admitted it now. And he's back. Yeah. Ooh! The music, though. Exactly. A person is their imperfections as well. Yeah. Easy. Yeah? Because those are meaningful. Now, was everybody else also in their own illusion? Or was it just Hajime? The center chamber looks like? Hmm. Yeah? Oh, everybody else is yet to wake up from their own illusions, right? Being encased in amber is basically equivalent to being encased in that fake world of yours. Symbolic. Okay, sure. So I wonder if now we're gonna be following the others' struggles with their own worlds. It could go a few ways. I don't think they're gonna show us everybody's illusion and everybody's struggles, because that would take, like, there's how many of them? Like 7, 8 remaining, right? Something thereabouts. Let's say 2 of those per episode. That would be like 3, 4 episodes. So probably not. They could show us in progress um illusion of the most important people, right? Yue, maybe Shia, maybe Kaori, and just start as Devilish Trial. Okay. Start as near the end, then Hajime appears in their dream, shatters it, and done. Or we could go for Hajime gaining new power from this labyrinth, a power that lets him enter people's minds, enter people's dreams, maybe, and that's how he wakes everybody up in order. Could be either of those. We'll see. Right now, let's see this episode though. Again. What are they eating? Nothing. They don't even have any plates. Yeah, they just have champagne glasses, champagne flutes with water, meat on their forks, and nothing else on the table. Or everybody managed to snatch their plate easily. Ah, it was a long ramble. Yeah, this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is like the final labyrinth as far as they know, right? Because this was the first one they arrived at. They noticed that they need 7 of those, like, insignia or whatever they are, right? And they got information about other labyrinths. And so they went looking for those in order to find all the insignia, come back here, slot them all in, and enter, right? Which makes it essentially a final labyrinth, really. Or at least final of this group. Perhaps there are others that have, like, maybe lesser unlock conditions. Maybe after you finish this labyrinth, you get a sigil or something that unlocks specific other one, right? You no longer need to collect 7 or whatever. Or maybe this one is genuinely the final one. We don't know that. Well, as far as we know, as far as we can surmise, this is the final one, but it's not, like, fully a given. Yeah, the tree is back to life. And I knew it's not gonna be as simple as everybody just getting teleported here without any problems and just punching through monsters. Of course, there had to be some sort of a complication. Oh, sorry if I'm yawning so much, because it's like the weather's not great. It's rainy and dark, and yeah, I would just like to sleep. Just some random blobs. How did you notice? Yeah, I just knew that this thing in front of me isn't my Yue. And I knew that that thing in front of me is my Yue. The power of love, really and truly. uh, yeah, Shizuku, Suzu, and Koki. Everybody being very not great at fighting a swarm. Using a sword to cut through a swarm is not the great idea. because the swarm can just split and separate, and even if you hit something, you hit like 3 of those wasps out of 300 that there are. So Suzu would probably be the best of them to handle that with her shield. If she could like encase some of them in a shield bubble and then squash it, for example, that could work, right? Offensive use of shields. I see it so rarely, and it's always such a treat when I see someone use shields offensively. It's great. That's one of the reasons why I enjoyed Shield Hero back when his shields were actually shields and not my shield is a cannon, my shield is a sword, my shield is a living head that bites, my shield can summon fire. Those aren't shields, those are weapons. Uh, but yeah, Suzu would be probably best fit to stand up against them. Maybe if they had some cool sword arts like 1,000 cuts or whatever that just creates a net of cuts and gets rid of all of them, but they don't. So yeah, probably the worst enemy for them. Kaori, probably the best suited out of them all to fight them because she actually can attack multiple wasps at the same time. Hajime, I mean, he probably has like 3 shotguns and 17 assault rifles in his pocket, so he could probably just get rid of them easily. He probably has a flamethrower as well, let's be honest here. Uh, but with his pistol, not the best idea, probably. Shia also able to just smack a couple of them at a time, but yeah, Kaori with her homing guided feathers. And not a goblin at all. Very interesting goblin design. Non-standard, certainly. Right? Like, uglier than usual anime goblins, if that makes sense, right? Those, like, yellow eyes going in different directions, the bloated stomach with some. How do they call it? Love trail, I believe. And yeah, of course, was able to tell because it's Yue, and he's always gonna be able to tell Yue from not Yue, and he's always gonna be able to understand her. That's the power of love, and none of you come even close to the bond they share. uh, I was really hoping for a nice sloppy kiss. It would be the amazing conclusion of this whole like dreamy sequence with Bloom. All that's missing is like roses on the edges of the screen, right? And a nice, tender, romantic kiss. Alas, alas. A very easy way to tell who's a goblin and who's one of the members of their party. The members of their party are dressed, and the goblins are not. There was that like red giant thing. Yeah, the red giant thing and the blue one. For some reason, I thought it might have been Shizuku. I completely forgot that Shizuku was not turned, that she was with them all the time. But I essentially saw aggression punching. Must be Shizuku. But no, not quite. It was Ryutaro, who admittedly I did not notice. I thought that the blue guy is one of them turned. I just completely missed the red character standing here. But yeah, that was Ryutaro. Testing the bonds. Not just bonds. Testing the what exactly? Testing their susceptibility to being swayed in a way, right? Like ultimately they are gonna be facing, in the end, I expect they're gonna be facing the god or gods plural of this world. So, safe to assume that they would be able to give them whatever they desire, right? Like, don't fight me, join me, Hajime. And if you do so, then I will give you your kingdom, I will give you a harem, I will give you infinite wealth and infinite life and everything you want, right? It's a tempting thing. But you gotta be able to stand up to that temptation if you wanna be able to defeat the god and complete the mission that the can't remember what they were called, the people who created the labyrinths. Progenitors comes to my mind, but I don't think they were called progenitors. They were called something else. But yeah, their mission was to defeat the gods, but they didn't manage. So they created labyrinths so that hopefully someone one day arrives who can complete them, get their powers, and be tested sufficiently to make sure that whoever it is, they're going to be able to complete the mission or at least continue it, right? So yeah, we can't have them just get all those powers and prove all those values if they can just get tempted by God in the final hour. So it's an important test, for sure. 6:30, that's way early. I really like how Hajime started putting two and two together early. Mm, the way it usually goes, from experience, right? The way it usually goes, stories like that, we spend at least like an episode or two inside of this illusory world, and in the end, it's something that makes the main character think that, oh, maybe something's not right, right? Either some error in simulation, maybe uh, Kasumi-chan told me that she doesn't like gold jewelry, so why is she wearing golden necklace, right? Or maybe there is someone screaming from the void or from within the dream, right? From within the dream of the main character. Nagato-kun, wake up! Nagato-kun, wake up! Right? It's usually something like that that triggers the main character to figure out that it's just an illusion. Hajime, just immediately something doesn't sit right. Yeah, nostalgia. Why do I think this way? And he doesn't like dismiss it either, right? That's another thing because usually it's like, oh, I'm just I'm just not feeling well. It will pass. I just stayed up long time playing Mario Kart or whatever, and my head kind of hurts. It's not that I'm getting visions of someone calling me. No, no, it's just a hallucination. No, Hajime sees those things and he thinks about them. Cool, good, good. Uh, everybody is a little bit of, I don't want to say a caricature of how they are, because they are pretty much exactly how they are, but a little bit more, right? Just a little bit more than usually. And that's another hint that something's not right. And a mistake in the simulation, kinda, a mistake in creating the simulation, is that everybody seems to have retained um, things that are like immersion breaking, right? Because Hajime speaking so casually to Tio, with her being a teacher and her reacting in a way that she did, it's not something that would have taken place in a regular school. So, and it wasn't removed. So it either was a hint or it was a mistake on the part of whoever created this labyrinth. Same here. Shia being able to just kick their asses and nobody paying it much mind. Because of course Shia would be able to beat their asses, but would she? She's just a high schooler or college girl or wherever they're going to school, right? So why would she be able to do that? And she's not even Shia pulled into this illusion, but she's a figment. So she could theoretically behave in whatever way she needs to behave to create an illusion of whatchamacallit, immersion for Hajime. So either hints or genuine mistakes. Some voice calling, wake up. Yeah, I think it's the voice of the dude from the first labyrinth. See, another thing that doesn't quite fit, right? A girl who is like Hajime's classmate, for all we know, entering his house in lingerie and nobody like saying anything, nobody paying it any mind, right? Like she had to change somewhere. Did she come here at like 10 p.m. telling Hajime's mother that, oh, I just came here to have sex with your son? It doesn't work, right? Again, immersion breaking. So again, either hints or error, or just trying to be too perfect. Yeah, just striving for an ideal, for perfection, and again, too perfect. Life is not perfect. People in your lives are not perfect. And those are the things that make life, life, and people, people. Those little imperfections. This world is too perfect to be real. Yue is too ideal to be real. Mere ideals could never replace them in reality. Yeah, exactly. There's no value in something that is only sweetness and gentleness. There's no meaning to a life that's just given to you. And again, I think it ties into the possibility that the god will just tell them, or whoever, that, oh, I can give you whatever you desire if you join me. Right? You gotta be able to stand up to that, to stand against that proposition. And this is a proof that you will be able to do so. The things that you build up through hard work in reality is what really makes you happy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something shatters and waking up in the amber coffin with everybody else also encased here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So assuming 2 per episode, that would be 4 episodes. If we squeeze 3 per episode, that would be 2, 3 episodes, with one being perhaps just Yue and Shia maybe, or something thereabout. So probably not what's going to happen. But I don't know. It very well could. I have no idea ultimately. And the next episode is a devilish trial. So will this trial continue? Or are we talking the trial that another member of the party has to go through? Could be either, really. Devilish trial. That's gonna be a short episode. Short video. We're only 50 minutes in, but sure. I mean, it happens sometimes. And I don't want to artificially bloat the length of it. But yeah, that's gonna be episode 6 of Arifureta season 3. And it was a good one. It was a good one. Because it... Deceptively, it kind of sort of focused on Hajime. Right? Like, I'm not even talking about the second part where it's Hajime's illusion, but even early on, it shows Hajime's bond to Yue, his bond to Tio, even, right? Presumably he was able to tell Tio, uh, I mean, even Shia was able to tell that it's Tio, so that's not a huge stunt. But interestingly, someone also had to figure out that that one red Oni is Ryutaro. And I wonder if that was Koki or if it was Hajime who figured it out. Because if it was Hajime, and I think it was, I don't think it was Koki, then it means that as standoffish as Hajime might be towards the other members of his party, he still cares about them. He still has a bond with them enough to be able to tell them apart. Which is a very nice bit of gap moe to Hajime's character, and he's full of gap moes. Let's be honest here. So that was cool, showing just how deep their bond is. Like, we knew that on the surface, but now we were fully properly shown. Although in a very like comedic way, with Hajime talking to an ugly goblin as if it was the most beautiful person in the world, right? That was fun. And the illusion, it was a classic case of an illusory world, illusory perfect world where someone wants to keep the main character. We've seen plenty of those. Although, as I already said, what was cool about it and what was fairly refreshing is how early Hajime noticed that something's amiss, that something's wrong, that something doesn't sit quite right. And I also like the moral of it, right? The resolution that perfection that is given to you is not quite as good as the imperfect things that you have achieved yourself. It's not even a message of I don't know. Uh, often those illusory worlds don't even have a message. It's a case of my friend doesn't wear gold and now she wears gold and something's not right. Oh, it must be an illusion, right? But this had a message of the perfection that was given and the imperfect things that you earn and the charm in those imperfections. If something's too perfect, it kind of loses the charm, doesn't it? It's those imperfections that give things character, that give things their charm, that give things their reality, really. A, uh, well, first thing that comes to mind is a knight in a spotless armor has never seen battle, but that doesn't fit quite like fully well. The best comparison I have is sometimes you see photos on social media or in news or wherever where there's like big celebrity bought a new villa, let's take a look inside, and there's a photo of the living room and it's a TV, white walls, white carpet, single white table, single white couch, and like a grayish abstract sculpture in the corner, and that's the living room. And that doesn't feel like a living room. Where are all the stuff and all the baubles? Where is the TV remote, right? Where's the coffee cup on that table? Where is the scratching post for the cat? Where are the newspapers somewhere on the table, right? Or kitchens. Uh, who was that? I can't remember. But there was also some celebrity trying to be like, oh, I'm just like you guys and whatnot. And she showed her kitchen and her pantry, and the kitchen was just completely fucking spotless and like by the fucking ruler. And the pantry was identical glass jars with identical wooden lids, storing the perfectly the same amount of various like lentils and like pastas and shit. And that's not how a kitchen and pantry that people actually use looks like. Where are the half-opened boxes of cereal? Where are the jars that are half empty? Where are the utensils laying on the countertop? Where is the, I don't know, pot on the stove, right? And it's that imperfection, it's that stain on the wall, it's that dirty dish in the sink, it's that splayed out newspaper on the couch that make a place cozy, homely, and lived in, right? And if something is perfect, it doesn't look real. And I wouldn't want to live in a perfect house like this, where everything is just shades of white and there's just nothing else there, right? Like, can I turn the camera? Uh, no, I can't really. Well, I mean, you can get a bit of a look at all the shit I have in the background behind me, right? There are some plushies on the up there. And there's a lot of various kinds of tat and shit in my room. There are plants, there are books, there's everything, and it feels like a place I want to be in, right? If all those shelves were empty, it's not a house, that's not a home, that's just a building. And I rambled way too long for something that is a very simple lesson of the episode, didn't I? uh yeah, the video is gonna be close to an hour after all, I guess. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I'm not gonna keep you here any longer. That's gonna be it from me for today. But maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. If so, say so in the comments down below. No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to the Discord if you'd like. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Arifureta, but also Dandadan, Shangri-La Frontier, Mahonare, Mecha Udemao 2099, plenty others, although I have to catch up with them still. I also stream sometimes, so click the bell to be notified of when I go live and when those videos go up, of course. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs absolutely nothing to do so, and it helps the channel an awful lot. And with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Rainer, Dr. Watt, Akamonster, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to be perfect.